All right, we're live. So we'll just wait a couple seconds for people to join, and then we'll go ahead and get started. All right, a couple people are hopping on. So, hey everyone, meteorologist Olivia Glass here. It is about 10:40 on Sunday, January 25th. We're gonna go ahead and go through a quick weather update for you. Of course, take a look at the radar. Then we'll go ahead and check in with Katie Glanton and Ray Coyato. They are both out and about. So we're gonna check in with them, look and see what they're seeing. And then we are also dealing with quite a few power outages. So we'll go ahead and take a look at those here too. So this is radar. This is what we're seeing right now. Let's see if I can make it a little bigger for us. Oh, there I go. Okay, I'll just leave it right here. So northwestern Georgia right now is kind of seeing a break in the showers. A lot of them is mainly along the plateau right now. Heavier downpours are towards, or I should say approaching, Sewanee right now, and then they are tracking north and east. Temperatures are starting to rise back up above freezing, so that's kind of limiting the amount of ice accumulation that we're going to be seeing for the rest of the day. But you're also still noticing some pockets of purple. That's still freezing rain, that's still sleet in higher elevations. So even though temps in the valley may be above freezing, there are still quite a few spots that are at or below freezing. So freezing rain may still be out and about as we're speaking. So that's still leading to slick spots on the roadways. That's still leading to down trees and power lines. So I'm going to go ahead and take Katie in, and we'll go ahead and take the radar off so we can see her. Actually, I'll leave the radar up. But Katie, you are out right now. Where are you?
I'm in Walden right now. I'm sitting in the car. I'm about to head out. It's still raining here. It's freezing rain.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact temperatures, but it's still quite cold out here. I'm going to grab my umbrella to get out here and show you that we've been tracking all morning. This has been a down tree all morning. Actually, no, I'll just not easy umbrella. We've been tracking some down trees in the area. When we moved over to this live shot, like at 7:30 this morning, this is the only, this right here, trying to figure out it's backwards. Right here was the only tree that was down. And now if you look over here, all of these trees are down in this road, making it really hard to navigate. In fact, actually we see a snowplow vehicle passing by. I'm not seeing any snow here. It's we're not dealing with that today. But we're prepared just in case. But mostly what we're looking at is those down trees. And then actually over here, there were quite a few vehicles that there was a huge like a power break. There was a lot of electricity issues. I saw some porch lights, so I don't think necessarily in this area right here it was down, but there was a breaker box that like popped earlier this morning, and there were like at least 5 or 6 EPV Xfinity vehicles. They were trying to get people's power back. I know we have quite a few people without power right now, and I know we had not very good visibility this morning. Very foggy, especially up here in Signal Mountain and Walden, but it's with you can correct me if I'm wrong, Olivia, with the ice accumulation on the trees, making it way down, and now it's like pouring down, not pouring down rain, but it's raining here. That's making these trees fall down, and it's infecting the roadway. It was just, again, that little tiny little spot, and now the entire road here. It's on Anderson Pike and Walden near Taft Highway. This entire side road, you can barely drive on it. Only one way can you drive on it, and it's impeding the other roadways. So I know it's not just in this location. In fact, this morning, like there were a lot of trees that I saw were down. Since then, the last couple of hours, I'm sure some of them were picked up, but then they keep falling. So
How
please
are
be
how are the
careful.
roads up there? Are there still icy spots on the road, or is it most of it just wet from the rain?
Well, this morning there were quite a few icy spots, but nothing super alarming. At least this morning, we haven't really moved from the spot in the last couple of hours, so I haven't really necessarily seen the roads recently. But this morning there was a few slick spots, but mostly what we were looking at was the rain affecting driving, and like there were a few like puddles that
Yeah.
it was hard to drive on, but it was a little icy, but not super in the roads, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, perfect. And there are still icy spots on the roads. We're still dealing with widespread rain showers starting to move in, but like you said, Katie, The trees are hanging really low in some spots still, especially where they do still have ice on them. Adding all of this moisture to it, there could still be downed trees later on today. There could still be downed power lines, and that's actually where I'm going to bring in Ray. Ray, you are in Saudi Daisy.
Yeah, I'm down here in Saudi Daisy, where this is probably the third or fourth power line I've seen down in the past 5 minutes on this one road here on Dayton Pike. There have been several. I've called Saudi Daisy Police earlier today, and they tell me they're overwhelmed with calls right now with flooding, down trees, down power lines. You can see right here, causing several power outages throughout the community right now. Dangerous driving conditions so far right now that I've just, for me personally, I've seen a lot of flooding around here as well. You can see some flooding in the street. Not too many cars out in the road for obvious reasons right now.
Right.
But the main thing I've been seeing in Saudi Daisy so far today is just all these down power lines. Like I said, this is probably like the fourth or third one I've seen just in this one road I've been driving down for the past 3 or 4 minutes. And that's not even counting the down trees that's down there in that area.
And you mentioned that water is starting to pile up on the ground on the roads too. We're still tracking widespread showers, heavy downpours for that matter too. So any additional rainfall that does fall the rest of the day today, that could still lead to localized, even some flash flooding concerns. So there's a lot on the table that we do have to worry about. If you do encounter a downed tree, a downed power line, of course, stay away. Those are very dangerous. And of course, we know that all of the energy workers are out working as hard as they can to get everyone's power restored back soon. So we're going to go ahead now and take a look at some of the current outages. Ray, I'm going to go ahead and mute you just so you know. So this is from EPB's website. This is current. Earlier this morning, I actually am pretty sure that the power went out at the studio. The lights flickered a ton during the show, and then we heard the generator turned on. So that was about 8:30 or so. From that point, we've watched this number grow. This numbers, our customers affected, I should say. We're continuing to watch that grow. All of these little red dots that you're seeing, all of those are reported outages. The orange ones indicate that crews are en route. So there is a lot of outages reported where Katie was. Signal Mountain and North Saudi Daisy, where you are, Ray, too. That's where a majority of the power outages are as well. They kind of creep a little further south, too, towards Lookout Mountain. So a lot of the higher elevations, the mountain locations, kind of where the worst ones hit in terms of the ice accumulation. So that's why we're saying don't let your guard down just quite yet. We're still tracking showers, and especially with whatever moisture is left on the ground tonight, that will freeze over too. So there are a lot of moving parts in this forecast that we are still tracking and will be continuing to do for the rest of the day today. So now we'll go ahead and take these power outages out and go ahead. Let's see if I can get my radar a little bit bigger here. I did this earlier. There we go. So we'll go ahead and walk through the forecast for the rest of the day today. This is radar right now. We're still tracking widespread showers. They are becoming a little bit more widespread as we're moving throughout the evening hours too, or morning hours, I should say. I'm just working on getting my map up. But yeah, so this is what we're tracking right now. Still seeing some of that wintry mix occur. Here, let me get my pointer out so I can show you. Say Western Hamilton County, South Sequatchie County as well. So that's where we're still seeing some of that wintry mix occur. I'll go ahead and zoom out for you. This is our system that we're dealing with. This is not something that's just affecting us locally. This is something that a large portion of the United States is dealing with. So all of the blue that you're seeing, that's all snow across the Great Lakes region, up through New York. The purple is still the sleet, freezing rain that we're still tracking locally as well. Now, this area of low pressure, that's kind of centered over northern Alabama. That's working to funnel in moisture for us and warmer temperatures. So we'll look at temperatures in just a second, but that is helping lower the ice accumulation amounts for the rest of the day today, just because temperatures will be above freezing. But now If you are in a higher elevation, your ground temperature could still be at or below freezing. So when that warm rain meets that surface, it contacts on surface, it'll freeze. So you could still be dealing with very icy sidewalks, icy roadways too. Now, I wanted to also provide you with an update with some of these active alerts. It looks like we just had a new one come out within the past 10 minutes or so. This has to be a flood advisory, I would assume. Yeah, so this is a flood advisory. We were just talking about that risk for flooding. This is for Marion, Sequatchie, and Bledsoe. Water on roadways overflowing, poor drainage areas are the most at risk for this flood advisory. So this is out for about 2 hours. This expires at 1 o'clock Eastern time this afternoon. So, or 2 o'clock, that is. So just keep that in mind if you do have to go out. Hopefully you're able to stay home, enjoy some of the warm air inside. Some good news though is that the National Weather Service has lifted a lot of the ice storm warnings. Hamilton County, Bradley County, McMinn County, they were all under that warning through this morning. Just recently, Walker County, portions of northwestern Georgia, that was lifted too. Winter weather advisories have expired as well. That winter storm warning still remains in effect because that's where, again, temperatures could be at or below freezing. So that could still result in some ice accumulation the rest of the day. It's foggy though. Katie kind of mentioned this too. We're seeing reduced visibilities all across the board, down to 3 miles in Chattanooga. Same goes for Dayton. Same goes for Crossville. 3 in Winchester. So it's not just the icy roads, the wet roads we have to worry about. It's also the reduced visibility. So that's why I say we kind of have a lot of moving parts with the system that we'll be tracking for the rest of the day. But let's look at temps. Temps over the past several hours are continuing to climb back up towards 40. Look at Crossville. They're at 40 degrees, but Tellico Plains has been the warm spot all morning. They've been sitting at 53 degrees. Chattanooga is approaching 40. Now, you may have a slightly different number on your thermometer at home. So that's why I say making sure you're checking that temperature it's so crucial because, again, if that rain falls and you're at 32, that's freezing on the ground. Rome, Dalton, you're sitting at 38, 36 in Winchester. But now it's breezy too. So when you factor in the winds to the wet trees, the wet ground, that's why power outages will still be possible later on today. Downed branches, downed trees. Look at Chatsworth wind gusts right now. 44. That is fast. That's like advisory level wind gusts. So that is very strong. Tellico Plains upwards of 40 miles per hour, almost 20 mile per hour gust in Cleveland. So we'll walk through timing of the rest of the day today now. This is around 2 o'clock or so. Most of us above freezing. So this is good news. This is continuing to limit, again, those ice accumulation amounts. There'll still be some heavier downpours at times. Don't be surprised also if you hear a rumble of thunder. The severe threat is very low locally. That's more so across the panhandle of Florida and further south along the Gulf Coast. Most of that should be out by 5, 6 o'clock though. So this is a difference from when we looked at this on Friday. This model was kind of keeping this a little bit longer towards 8, 9 o'clock tonight. It's pulling it out faster, so that's good. But look at the wind flow. I want you to look at the wind flow. This is out of the northwest. Look at how fast the plateau is dropping into the 20s. Any moisture that's left on the ground, on the sidewalks, that will more than likely freeze overnight tonight and into your Monday morning. So that's why we're also weather alerts heading into tomorrow, because temperatures tomorrow morning, they'll be bitter cold. We'll be down into the teens. I also wouldn't be surprised to see some flurries lingering, just because when you have such cold air, that will kind of wring out any leftover moisture that's in the atmosphere. So also don't be surprised if you see some flurries tomorrow morning. Teens, but wind chills in the single digits will be possible for a lot of us. Look at our highs for tomorrow. Barely making it to 30. So tomorrow overall will be a very cold day. Consider today a mild one compared to what's ahead of us, especially for Tuesday morning. This is actual air temps. We're talking single digits. When you factor in that breeze, that could put our wind chills below 0 Tuesday morning. So very, very cold air sticks with us through Tuesday. Honestly, for the rest of the week, Daytime highs for Tuesday, similar story, upper 20s to lower 30s. So this Arctic air that's behind the system really won't be going anywhere anytime soon. Because as we look ahead to the 7-day forecast, yeah, we're talking highs in the 30s. We could be at 40 by Wednesday, but regardless, all of these temperatures are well below average. So the winter jacket isn't going anywhere anytime soon. All of the winter gear isn't. So we can't stress enough to you to please stay off of the roads if you don't have to be on them. Watch out for downed power lines, downed trees. Of course, we'll be here tracking the weather all day long for you. We'll probably do another update around lunchtime or so in the next hour, hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. But we'll be here all morning long and keeping you updated. So we'll go ahead and check in with you coming up in just a little bit. We'll see you then.